Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to episode 200 here on season number 2. And today we're getting into Stash Recap November edition. We totally skipped October edition. And then also we're going to be getting to a question from one of the subscribers or viewers. His name is DC Heat BW, and he asks, what ETFs and stocks do you currently have? Hacks or something like that. And then he also says, how are you doing with the recent stocks tanking? So that was on one of my stash videos. So what I wanted to do was address it in regards to stash and not literally like M1 Finance and Acorns and Robinhood and just like everything, and just only address it in regards to specifically stash. But hopefully you guys don't mind the new setup or like just the new kind of thing. I don't have a second camera that I have set up right now, and then I'm not going off my webcam. I want to try to keep these season videos in 4K. It's just like I don't want to set up on the tripod and get everything kind of set up. I was doing it today, like I was getting everything set up, and I was like, by the time I had it all set up, I was like, I don't want to really make a video anymore. And so just trying to keep it a little bit more personal, a little bit more transparent. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. So Stash Recap November. Basically this month was really good. There wasn't like a whole lot of downs going on in the month of November, but as soon as like December hit, it was like tank. The account actually went up 3.77% this month, which in September it was my only positive account, and that was at a 0.58%. So there was quite a bit of growth in November compared to September. Also, my delicious dividends is still at 25%. Park my cash sitting at 25%. And that was in November when I hit like my target 25% for Park My Cash. And so now I've been putting a lot more money into Real Estate Tycoon. This month, I think I was only able to purchase like $20 of Real Estate Tycoon, and then the rest of it went into either Park My Cash or Delicious Dividends just because of the fluctuations in the market. In September, my overall account was 13.11%. As it sits close of November, the account sits at 9.59%. So there was a steep drop in October, and then we ran it back up in November, and now it seems like we're kind of dropping in December and breaking, maybe hopefully we'll break even by the end of the year. That's kind of my goal, is to not lose any money finishing out the year. My calculated year-to-date return on stash is right now sits at a 3.18% or $37, which is not a whole lot, but that's based upon like maybe like $1,500 or so. In September, it was a 5.52% or $76. So it would have been nice to finish out the year in September instead of November, but you know, that's kind of the way that the market works, right? The account this month did gross $99. However, if you minus the two $20 bi-weekly deposits that I make, you get a net growth of $59 this month, which I'm really happy with still. So obviously, like last month, probably my account was negative on the year date, and I'm pretty sure that it was like, it was kind of tough. October was a little bit of a tough month, and I don't know if that's why I didn't want to report on it or whatever, or if I was just busy, but it was one of those tough months. But let's go ahead, and if you guys don't mind, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the app, and I'll have that come up right over here on the screen. And I totally forgot to start recording. So right now, this is as of December 10th. It's my account sits at $1,577. It's not too bad. A total return of 6.41%. I think that close of last year I was at 7%. So this is a little bit tough. I don't think that I'm gonna break even this year, but it's okay. It's fine. I understand that. Just stay in it long term and continue to make those regular deposits. And I think that I should be fine probably in the next couple years. But as far as my portfolio goes, right now, Park My Cash sitting at 26%, Delicious Dividends at 24%. So when I make my bi-weekly deposit this month or this week, probably most likely that $20 will go to Delicious Dividends. Real Estate Tycoon right now sits at 5% with a target percent of 15% is where I want to be. I also have all the glitter sitting at 2%, Roll with Buffett, which is Berkshire Hathaway, sitting at 2%, American Innovators at 15% or 1%, and then a lot of other ETFs are going to be around that 1% mark. Basically, in 2016, I was just throwing a lot of like $20 investments into each ETF, and then I was like, you know what, I shouldn't be doing that. I want to actually pull back a little bit, set up some target percents that I want some ETFs to be at, and then once I get those target percents achieved, then what I'll do from there is start adding the other ETFs and single stocks. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Doctor, which I believe was like Live Long and Prosper, they changed the name on that, is currently like, that's pretty good, 36% return. Like, hey, Defending America, I think, is by far my best performing ETF, still at 46%. I think it at one point this year was up above 60%, but now it's still, at least it's still, you know, above like 30% and 40%. And then as you get down further, you start to see my negative returns, like Essential Europe down 10%, Uncle Sam down 3%. That's a bond mix, so that would make sense that maybe it's down. Clean and Green only down 2.2% or 2.12%. It's not too bad. And then as we continue to get down even more, I mean, we're going to see some harsher negatives. Up and Coming, that's going to be Emerging Markets. That's down 13.78%. Robots Rising, surprisingly, was actually one of my best performing ETFs this year up until the point, and then now it's down to 21%. But it was, I believe, at like 60. I want to say it was above 50% this year. So that's kind of crazy. Corporate Cannabis being my worst performing ETF by far. Negative 23% return. With a $20 investment, I'm sitting at $15. So that's kind of tough. We'll go ahead and go over to the balance. As you can tell right now, it continues to grow out. Green tops make the dreams drop. You know, that's kind of my, I don't want to see any red. I don't want to be withdrawing money. If I can keep my money in there, then that's where I want to be. I think that it's not timing the market. I think it's time in the market that makes a successful long-term investor, and that's kind of my approach to that. We can go ahead and view the account history here real quick, just so you guys can see where the money went this month, and we'll actually go ahead and take a look at last month as well. A lot of dividends in October, probably the end of the third quarter, and then buying a lot of Real Estate Tycoon this month. It seems like delicious dividends towards the end of the month. So there's probably a little bit of a drop on delicious dividends at the end of October, and then this month some more dividends. A lot of them coming from my monthly bond funds, basically, that pay me monthly. I bought $20 of Park My Cash, and then also I bought another $20 of Real Estate Tycoon there as well. Or I bought $40 of Real Estate Tycoon in November, so that was kind of nice. So that's pretty much the account as far as it goes. As far as like what ETFs I hold and that kind of thing, I know probably the next question is going to be like what my target percents are and all that kind of stuff, which in my stash investing like strategy 2018 video, which I do plan on coming out with a 2019 video here when 2019 does happen, and I'll probably adjust some of those percents as well moving into 2019, just because I think I want to be putting more exposure into ETFs that are like solely equity ETFs and less into bond funds. So I might turn down Park My Cash a little bit while turning up like maybe like some delicious dividends. I don't know if I want to put more in delicious dividends, but maybe like just some other ETFs and stuff. So we will see. As it sits right now, basically the targets are delicious dividends at 25%, Park My Cash at 25%, a Real Estate Tycoon at 15%, and then another ETF I haven't, like once I get there, then I'll pick an ETF, and I want to keep that ETF at 5%, and then I also want to get another single stock and put that single stock at 5% as well. And that's kind of my goal, and then from there is to buy the other ETFs and single stocks as I can, as the funding is appropriate for the account. So that's kind of where it all sits at. Like I said, during the beginning of 2016, I just kind of like, whenever I would make a $20 deposit, I would just go and buy a new ETF. And so that's where a lot of the ETFs that you see on that specific account, on my stash account, come from. However, with Stash Retire, it's a little bit different because I was like, I already had my target percent and I was like, this is the way that I'm gonna do it. So there's a lot less exposure into a ton of ETFs, and it's really like focused in on those 5 like holdings that I want, and then now on I'm going and buying different ETFs over there. So that's kind of where it all sits at. I don't know how bad it tanked, but overall, as you can tell, like the portfolio finishing out the month was at 9.59. Now it's sitting at a 6.41. So there was quite a bit of a decrease in the last 10 days or something. So we've been getting hit pretty hard. We've been getting hammered. That's all I've got to say about that. Anyways, we'll go ahead and leave it right there. I hope that you guys enjoyed the kind of like more kickback, less professional kind of approach with just the shotgun mic on on the camera. That's kind of the approach I think moving forward, just because I don't have as much time to spend on the videos like I used to in the past. I hope that you guys bear with me as I continue to try to release content in relation to stash and acorns and just investing in finances and that kind of stuff. And also, if you get a chance, feel free to check the end of the video there. I'm still having a silver giveaway. It actually ends tomorrow, so click on that video, go there, make sure you get entered. That way, you know, you have a chance at winning. But until next time, it has been your boy, Coach Keith. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.